Switch Radio Sport. This is Switch.
Worcester City win that game and they will be in Division 1 Midlands next season.
Chance in Paul Job's got chance in the penalty, gets shot in and goes to the back of the net, and Cheyenne Jarvis gets the second goal for Leaford Athletic this afternoon, found space in the 6-yard box.
Back to the edge of the penalty area with the pass, crossing towards the back post, headed goalwards and in!
That's a great shot from De Castro! Oh, what a save for Gray! And Winkin 2-0!
Stourbridge have won the Division 1 Midlands title.
The Women's Football Chat on Switch Radio.
Good evening, welcome along to this week's Women's Football Chat. My name is Chris Gadsby. I'm here every week bringing you the very latest from the third and fourth tiers of women's football here in England. That's the FA Women's National League, and we are of course still in the off season, so things are a little bit slow, but this is a very exciting week on the Women's Football Chat because it is the preliminary round draw of the summer knockout tournament coming up later on in the show. It will be quite a bit of a shorter show because it's just going through some of the news from the past week, and then we will get straight to that draw. So let's start with the news. We're going to start down in South East and Dulwich Hamlet. They have appointed Maria Tavares as their new women's first team manager. This decision, they say, follows a thorough and deliberate process during which we were fortunate to engage with an exceptionally strong pool of candidates, both through direct interest and strategic outreach. Maria joins Dulwich Hamlet coming from Arsenal Women's Academy, and after playing semi-professional in her time as a player, Maria is aiming to bring to the club a new spark, fresh ideas. Prior to her time at Arsenal, she had held coaching roles at SOAS University of London and Stonewall FC, where she won trophies. So a new managerial appointment at Dulwich Hamlet. Maria has said, "Stepping into this role, I bring nothing but belief and energy. I know the club stands for integrity, love and respect, values I hold close, and that's why we're not just aiming to compete. We're here to inspire, to push limits and to make this club a force everyone respects." It's going to be quite an interesting look at Dulwich Hamlet going into next season. Now, Lee Kam Ching has joined as assistant manager there. He's has also come from Arsenal Women's Academy. He's also coached international tournaments and the FA Youth Cup as well, supporting players progressing into their national teams. So a really strong coaching outfit that looks to have been put forward by Dulwich Hamlet ahead of next season. So it'll be interesting to see quite how they do, particularly in the early part of the season where we know how important it is to make a very, very good start. So that's from Dulwich Hamlet. Let's go now to Sporting Khalsa because they have also appointed a new manager. This is Juan de Pazzo, is the new first team manager at Sporting Khalsa. He rejoined the club in September 2024 as a first team coach, and has experience in both the men's and the women's game, has a UEFA A licence, and is taking over from Andy Mulligan to lead the team forward into the 25-26 season. Sporting Khalsa, of course, survived in Tier 3 last season after their promotion from Division 1 Midlands the year before. Now, he has said he's extremely honoured to be appointed as the new manager because he knows there is a number of strong candidates who were involved within the application process. Khalsa is a special club to me as it was the first club to give me an opportunity to coach at senior level in 2015 when I was doing my level 2 in football coaching. I have always followed Khalsa throughout the years, and after I left, until I had the opportunity to come back last season and support the first team in their first season in Tier 3. It'll be interesting to see what Sporting Khalsa's aims are going into this season. They will of course want to stay in Tier 3 again, but because Tier 3 is interesting in the fact that there are so many high profile sides in there, your Wolves, your Burnleys, your Stokes, your Derbys, where do Sporting Khalsa want to compete and finish in April next year in Tier 3 is going to be an interesting kind of mentality going into the season, and see where they come out at the end of it. Are they going to be able to compete on a par with the likes of, let's say, Liverpool Feds, or is it going to be, okay, well, we finished in the bottom third last season, let's try and finish between 6th and 9th, 6th and 8th. That'll be a very interesting one to kind of see really what's going to happen with Sporting Khalsa over the next months as the fixtures start to go. And then finally, for news this week, we're going to go to Huddersfield Town. Now, this is news that's broken literally 2 or 3 minutes before I started recording. It's normally infamous on this show that as soon as something has been recorded, then more news comes out, and then I quickly have to carry it over into next week. But Huddersfield Town have been incorporated into the wider club structure ahead of the 25-26 FAWNL Division 1 North season. This is a landmark deal in the history of both clubs. To date, a service level agreement has been in place that saw our name, kit and badge shared, while each entity remained entirely separate. Following this acquisition, however, Huddersfield Town women's first team is fully incorporated into the wider club, establishing its own place within our identity and structure. It says, boasting a long and proud history of women's football locally, an initial side called Huddersfield Atalanta existed between 1920 and 1925. The modern day Huddersfield Town women formed in June 1988 and had a service level agreement with the club from 2019 onwards. In addition to the support towards training facilities, kit, travel and pitch rental last season, the club will also take responsibility for all other facets of the first team going forward. Women's first team is now also factored into commercial deals and club marketing, while also managing the FA's minimum standards. So the off-field targets have not been adjusted. They are already aiming to finish as high as possible in Division 1 North in the season to come. The desire to see to players promoted to first team level from the academy also remains. And there is an advisory board being formed to oversee the changes to make sure that it flows smoothly. So yet another club being incorporated into the men's side and the wider club is again another positive step. We've seen how positive it's been for several clubs, the likes of Forest and stuff down the line in the past few years, and how well they're moving on to do. So hopefully Huddersfield Town will be hoping at least that they do a similar sort of thing. And that's really the news from the past 7 days here on the Women's Football Chat. So we'll get straight down to, and waste no further time getting to, the preliminary round draw of the Women's Football Chat Summer Knockout 2025. So all 72 FAWNL sides are involved in this, but this preliminary round draw, there are only 8 ties to get us from 72 down to 64. Let's head over to the draw. Welcome along to the Women's Football Chat Summer Knockout Tournament 2025. This is the preliminary round draw where we get 72 FAWNL sides and narrow them down to just 64 before the huge first round draw takes place next week. If you're new to the FAWNL Summer Knockout, let me just take you through how it works. So all 72 sides that are in tiers 3 and 4 of the women's football pyramid here in England are in this box numbered 1 to 72. There is no seeding, there is no regionalisation. Anyone can face anyone. Now today, to get 72 sides down to 64, we will have an 8-tie preliminary round draw. So 16 teams will come out of the box today, and then you will vote for your favourite FAWNL side week by week, getting it down to just one. Cheshire United were the inaugural winners of this back in 2022. Wolverhampton Wanderers then won it in 2023. And last year, Halifax beat Nottingham Forest to the title. And they will be looking to retain that this time around. Let's just go through then some of the all-important ball numbers for you for today's draw. 6, Ascot United, new side in the summer knockout tournament this time around. Number 9, Blackburn Rovers, after dropping 2 tiers from the Championship. Cheshire United, the inaugural winners, are number 19. Chester Street Town, 20. Fulham, 27. The reigning champions Halifax, 29. Kidderminster Harriers, 34. Luton Town, 42. Marine Academy Plymouth, 44. Sheffield are 59. Wolverhampton Wanderers, the winners 2 years ago, are 68. And Wythenshawe are 71. So those are some of the key ball numbers for you to look out for. Before we get into the draw, let's go through the rules of the summer knockout tournament this year. So once the ties have been drawn, each tie will go on to our social media on X. That's at WFootballChat. And what you will be able to do there, you will see for each tie, there will be a tweet for each side. You will vote with likes and with reposts. And then, so you can effectively vote twice. And then at Sunday at 6 p.m, Sunday evening, the voting will close. And whoever side has the most votes will progress through to the next round of the summer knockout tournament. Those are the rules then for the 2025 FAWNL Women's Football Chat Summer Knockout. Let's get straight down to the draw. We've got 16 teams to draw for this preliminary round. Let's get straight down to it. And the first team out, a new side, number 34, is Kidderminster Harriers. Kidderminster Harriers, the first side out of the draw this time around. And they will take on number 65, that's Swindon Town. Swindon Town, number 65, will take on Kidderminster Harriers in the preliminary round draw. Number 58, that's Rugby Borough. Rugby Borough, number 58. Top half finish in the Northern Premier Division last season for them. Rugby Borough will take on number 39, Liverpool Feds. Liverpool Feds, an all Northern Premier Division tie there between Rugby Borough and Liverpool Feds. Number 38, Lincoln United. Lincoln United, number 38, the next team out. And they will take on number 24. That's Dulwich Hamlet. Dulwich Hamlet, number 24, will take on Lincoln United. Next out, number 62. That's Stoke City. Stoke City, number 62. The next side out. And they take on number 31. That's Huddersfield Town. Stoke City against Huddersfield Town. Number 13, Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers, number 13, the next side to be drawn. and they will take on number 10. That's Boldmere St Michael's. Bristol Rovers against Boldmere St Michael's. Number 61, Stockport County. Stockport County, number 61. And they will face number 6, newly promoted, Ascot United. Stockport County against Ascot United. 2 ties left to be drawn. Number 16, that's Chatham Town. Chatham Town, the next side out from Division 1 South East. And they will take on number 14, that's Burnley. Burnley, who have recently announced that they are going full-time professional. They're drawn out in the preliminary round here. Final tie then of this preliminary round. Number 5 is AFC Wimbledon. AFC Wimbledon, number 5. And they will take on, to finish the draw, number 2, Actonians. AFC Wimbledon against Actonians in the preliminary round. And that concludes the preliminary round draw for the 2025 Summer Knockout Tournament. 8 ties there to take us down from 72 teams to 64. Let's remind ourselves of those 8 ties. We've got Kidderminster Harriers coming up against Swindon Town. Rugby Borough take on Liverpool Feds. Lincoln United against Dulwich Hamlet. Stoke City against Huddersfield Town. Bristol Rovers take on Boldmere St Michael's. Stockport County against Ascot United. Chatham Town against Burnley. And AFC Wimbledon against Actonians. So those ties are going to be out on social media on @WFootballChat on X very, very shortly. The polls will run until Sunday at 6 p.m. Don't forget your liking and reposting in order to cast your vote. So you can cast 2 votes in each round for this tournament. And then whoever has the most come 6 o'clock on Sunday will progress through to next week's first round proper. And there you go then, the first 8 ties from the 2025 Women's Football Chat Summer Knockout have taken place. They are over now on our social media. You can vote with likes and reposts, and the voting will shut at 6 p.m. on Sunday, at which point we will know our 64 remaining sides that will go into that big first round draw that you will be able to see on next week's show. That then will about do it for this week's episode of the Women's Football Chat. But before we go, a very big congratulations to Steve Gregory, who got the mystery FAWNL team on last week's show correct. That was AFC Sudbury. So this week we have another one for you. I think that this one is a little bit more straightforward than previous ones. So the answer to this is a FAWNL side. Financial grounds, ironically, where bills might be scattered. Financial grounds, ironically, where bills might be scattered. So let us know on our social medias your thoughts to that one over the next few days. The answer to that will be released on social media next Thursday before the show, and then next week I'll have another one for you, and then I better get thinking about some more, as it seems to be received rather well. In the meantime, don't forget that @WFootballChat on X is the place to go for the latest news, but if you want the very, very latest, then it's our TikTok page at Women's Football Chat, where you can find all of the very latest information. And it's where I'm going now in order to discuss the Huddersfield Town appointment. So be sure to check that out as well. Doing some pretty good numbers for the first week that we've had that account, and hopefully that will continue. But that will about do it then for this week's episode of the Women's Football Chat. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll be back next Thursday when we will have that big first round draw for the summer knockout. That'll take up the vast majority of next week's show. Plus there will also be all of the very latest news from across the third and fourth tiers of women's football here in England. That's the FA Women's National League. This is the show dedicated to that league. Thank you very much for watching me. I'll be back next week. Goodbye.